अनम्यूट करो।
Good afternoon, friends. I am Deepak Balani, Director General AIPMA, and it is my proud privilege to welcome all of you to this very important webinar on plastic testing. As you know, testing plays a very critical role in the life cycle of a polymer, from the raw material to the compound, and to the extent it is semi-finished goods or finished goods. So each stage has a different testing requirement, and each end user may require a different test solution depending on their role. Whether it is product development or a quality control or a testing services or it is research or end use. So testing becomes a very critical stage in the life of a polymer and the life of a product. And it has gained extreme importance, especially after the single-use plastic has been banned and there are various other products which are basically have to be tested and certified by BIS and CPCB. So with this in mind, AIPMA's AMTEC, which is a center of excellence of AIPMA for plastic product innovation and application, has signed a MOU with Intertech for getting the plastic testing services to the doors of every plastic processor and the converters. So we will begin by first introducing our president. He is Mr. Kishore Sampath, president of AIPMA. He also has his own company. They are into manufacturing of compostable polybags and recycling. And his company name is Polythene Industries, one of the very vibrant and energetic and outcome-driven president. I would request Mr. Kishore Sampath to deliver his welcome address. Unmute कर लीजिए.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of All India Plastic Manufacturers Association, we welcome you all to this very important webinar. We are very happy to announce and launch the testing services of AIPMA. It is for the first time that AIPMA AMTEC is launching the testing services, and we are fortunate to have Intertech as our partners. We welcome them to this webinar and also for a long-term relationship. My dear friends, as the times are changing, testing has become a very important part as industry and our Indian plastic industry is going to the next level. We need standard and certified products. That is the vision of the government also, and that brings the necessity of testing services to be offered at AIPMA. Intertech, we are very pleased, is a very reputed company. It is a multinational company operating in various countries, and in India we have Mr. Mohanty and his team with us for the testing services. They are champions, especially in testing of biodegradable compounds, compostable bags and compostable products, biodegradable products. And as CPCB is changing all the laws and rules, so this is a very important dimension, and it will also give new life to SUP products. I am sure that Mr. Mohanty will throw details in his presentation, which is going to come up next. So I welcome you all, and let's all be ready to understand this aspect of biopolymers testing and all, so all of us can take advantage. The registrations for the assignments will be happening on our website of our AMTEC, and I'm sure Mr. Mohanty will also be giving us some discounts and other benefits, and they will be informing us in the sessions as we going forward. So thank you very much. Let's have a very knowledgeable session going ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishore Bhai, for your welcome address. As you have announced that it is our, it is an honor to inform that AIPMA's AMTEC has signed an MOU with Intertech for bringing the plastic services at a highly reasonable cost and discounted price to the industry. So with this, we'll start with our program. Mr. Arvind Mehta, our Governing Council Chairman, will be joining shortly, and then we'll take his speech later. Meanwhile, I will introduce our experts from Intertech, Mr. Priyabrata Mohanty. He is from Intertech, joined Intertech as the business leader for Celebrate for India. From
Mr. Arvind Mehta is here. Mr. Arvind Mehta is here. I think we can take his address. He is there.
Yeah.
Mr. Arvind Mehta is
You are able to hear me, sir?
you are able to hear me?
Yes, Arvind bhai, we are able to hear you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sorry for being late and everything.
No
I am
problem.
not in my office and all that.
No
So,
problem, sir.
can I start the
Yeah,
point?
yeah, you can. So Arvind bhai is our governing council chairman. He's also the chairman of AIPMA's AMTEC. Arvind bhai, if you can give your introductory address.
Yes. Yeah, good afternoon, friends, and thank you for having this first webinar. We are addressing one of the very important issue, that is of testing, and with the world renowned leader, that is Intertech. So just friends, make use of it. That will be our conveying point. On behalf of AIPMA's MTech, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this webinar on testing services for the plastic industry. Let me tell you a little about AIPMA's MTech and the purpose behind its existence. AIPMA's MTech has been established with an objective to accelerate the growth of plastic industry. One of the main agenda of the Center of Excellence for Plastic Product Innovation and Application is to facilitate proper understanding and knowledge of verticals like product design, reverse engineering, 3D printing, plastics in packaging, and management consulting. The objective is to facilitate upgradation of knowledge and provide 360-degree education, training, and industry service to the plastic industry under one roof through our knowledge partners such as Carl Zeiss, Germany, Foundation of Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, Siemens, 3D System USA, and Intertech. As we all know, testing plays a very critical role in life cycle of polymer from raw material to compound through to the semi-finished and finished product. It is important to conduct quality control tests on plastic so as to validate material or supplier changes, verify new and revised production process, ensure compliance to specifications, competitive research, and reduce liability. Friends, now under the new changes of the SUP and everything, these things are also very important. And for the fast growth of plastics, the testing is a reality, and we have to fall into the place as far as testing are concerned. And AIPMA offers best of the best technical services as far as the testing is concerned. I welcome on this panel our esteemed guest from Intertech, who will explain more about the necessity of testing in detail. I wish you the very best and fruitful reflections. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Arvind bhai, for your address. With your guidance and with your support, AMTEC has been able to sign this very important MOU with Intertech, and especially in the area of plastic testing, which is also one of the very big growth enablers for the plastic industry in India. Thank you, Arvind bhai. With this
Thank you.
move, we will have our Mr. Priya Brata Mohanty. I was in the process of introducing him. He, before Intertech, he was with Deloitte Consulting and Amdocs, where he led varied multifunctional business transformation for Fortune 100 clients across the globe. He's a computer science graduate with MBA from IIM Kozhikode. He brings more than 15 years of experience, strategy, planning, consulting, and operations and management. We also are joined by Ms. Dhanashri. She is the Business Development Manager, Environment and Microbiology for Intertech. Around 10 years of experience in the fields of microbiology, environment, biodegradability, compostability, treatability, and sustainability. She has led several projects for international and national organizations around the development of sustainable and environmentally friendly products and processes. She is master's in microbiology, and she is currently pursuing her PhD in the same field. She has several patents in her reign, and she will also have a lot of research and publication in national and international journals. So I would request Mr. Priyabrata to start his presentation, and he can take this forward.
Thank you, Deepak ji. Thank you, Arvind ji. Thank you, Kishore ji. Yeah.
Just a minute,
So welcome everyone. So I hope that we'll try to make this session as interesting as possible, because this session is largely on a very relevant topic, a topic that is relevant today, a topic that became relevant 1 month back, and we have been getting a lot of queries around the government notification around single-use plastics, the new SOP. There are so many things that we want to talk about. And we thought that this webinar will actually help all the members, all the participants here to, as a single forum where we can come together and answer many of their questions. Our technical expert Dhanashri is also on this call, and very soon you will get to hear from her. And she will help us get to the bottom of this thing in terms of what we can do or what the industry can do to make sure that they comply to the new regulations. Yeah. So I hope you can all see my screen. Yeah. So before we delve deep into the individual issues, I just want to give you a quick overview of who we are. Yeah. One second. Who we are as Intertech, because many of you might know this already. Many of you might be new to this whole industry, hence may not have heard of Intertech or any of the other names in the industry per se. So this is a quick introduction of what we do and what our total sustainability offering is, and where does biodegradable and compostable offerings sit within it. So this is the offering that is going to add the most value to this discussion today, because this directly addresses the problem of the new regulation coming to the picture. But at the same time, this also addresses the evolving market in general and the evolving sustainability goals that we see happening in the market. So without further ado, so I'll just quickly get into who we are. So Intertech is essentially one of the biggest brands in this particular industry. Now, this industry that I'm talking about in general is known as the ATIC industry, or just to have a very simpler form, we'll call it the testing and inspection industry, where we work with a lot of different manufacturers, suppliers, retailers, not just of plastics, but across all industries, electrical, manufacturers of apparel, food, agriculture, people. For example, the clothes that you are wearing today. So this has to be tested before it can be launched in the market. This has to be certified by as per certain SOPs, as per certain regulations before it can be launched in the Indian market. So we are the ones who test it on behalf of, let's say, a Van Heusen, or let's say a Zara or an H&M, and certify that product so that it can be launched in the Indian market. So similarly, we do it for manufacturing industries, like electrical products have to be launched, have to be certified before they can launch. Even your oil and gas, for example, the petrol and diesel that you put in your vehicles have to be inspected and tested before they can go into the retail station. So those are the ones that we do as well. So this is an industry that actually kind of plays its role in the background. Not many people come to know of it. It's called a fringe industry, but it's one of the most important industries that ensures that our customers actually maintain a seamless and smooth flow of their supply chain and operations. So testing and inspection is a business that Intertech, actually in more ways than one, Intertech has been one of the early founders of this industry, because many of the early founders of Intertech were actually being the founders of their own industry itself. For example, the photo that you see here, Thomas Edison, actually the inventor of electric lamps and many other electrical products, was the one who actually started the electrical certification industry, and which later got absorbed into Intertech, and he also became one of the early founders of this industry. So Intertech per se is a science-driven, the testing piece of Intertech is a science-driven industry. So science, as we know, has been accelerating at a huge pace, and many of our customers, or the manufacturers, the suppliers, find it difficult to keep pace with that kind of innovation, that kind of technology change. So that's where Intertech comes in, because we work with a lot of technicians, chemists, hardcore technology guys who are able to keep pace with that changing technology and help the customers build their products in such a fashion so that it has an acceptance with the customers, it meets all the regulations in the market, it meets all the sustainability goals of the market, etc., etc. Okay. So in that sense, Intertech has been one of the biggest, has been one of the oldest players in this industry, is still one of the biggest brands in this industry, and is always known as one of the innovators in the industry. Specifically, if you look at some of the founders that that have been part of Intertech before. So a quick overview of our heritage. So the industry actually, this testing and inspection industry actually started in about 1885. Not with the plastic industry or the electrical industry or the garment industry, but it actually started with marine and cargo. So the person named Calibrate started trading, and he decided that there is a need for a third party to come and inspect that a cargo that is going from point A to point B, whether it's going with the right quality or the right quantity. So that's where this person started this whole industry around third party inspection and testing. An independent referee or an umpire who can basically check both the claims of the supplier and the buyer to ensure that the buyer is selling the right product and the supplier is buying the right product. Okay. So this over time evolved into what we see today in 2022, where a lot of other founders have come into the picture. For example, Thomas Edison set up the ETL certification, the electrical testing lab, which later got absorbed into Intertech as well. So today the business that deals with electrical devices and electrical products like your switchboards, your washing machines, your ovens, your refrigerators, all of them come with something. For example, there is an electricity rating that comes on top of your refrigerator that says it's a 3-star or a 5-star or a 4-star rating. So a third party has to come and say that, okay, is it actually a 3-star or a 4-star? So somebody has to test it. So a manufacturer cannot test it. You need a third party who can come and do this kind of certification and testing. So Intertech does it for many of the biggest brands like Samsung, LG, etc. So that's how the whole electrical industry came to the certification and inspection space. And over time, all the other industries have also come into the picture. The plastics and polymer industry has been a big supporter of this industry, especially in the more mature markets like Europe and the US. And India also slowly and steadily, we are seeing that as we become a more advanced country, as we become a more mature country, we'll see that many of the other industries like the plastics polymers, like the other similar industries will also start believing in the concept of having a third party testing and third party inspection. And especially when they want to develop products which are more sustainable for the market, which are more environmental friendly for the market, and caters to the changing needs and behaviors of the buyers. So what we do, I've given already a glimpse of what we do, but broadly, we work in an industry called the assurance, testing, inspection, and one second, inspection and certification. Okay. So assurance is something where we look at the existing processes, existing systems, existing people of our customers and act as an advisor to them in terms of minimizing their supply chain risks and operational risks. In today's world, supply chain risk is one of the biggest risks. It started from the time of COVID and is something that we are seeing even today. Okay, so how do we ensure that we are buying the right products from the right vendors? And how do we ensure that our supply chain and operation risk are minimized is actually a huge deal of money, because time is money. If you don't put the right product at the right place with the right people, then you're losing out on a lot of money. Testing and inspection is something that, like I said, we act as a third party umpire where we do testing for a lot of different industries, for a lot of different customers, not just locally, but also internationally. Especially the biodegradation or the environmental testing unit, which Dhanashri is going to talk about later, is actually a center of excellence that caters to customers across the globe, not just for the local market. So many of the biggest Fortune 100, Fortune 500 manufacturers across the world actually send their samples to us to ensure that we do the right kind of testing and provide the right kind of certification. Yeah. Then we have the certification. Like I said, many of your products, before they are launched in the market, they have to be certified to ensure that they comply to local regulations, global regulations, etc. Especially when you are exporting to other countries, the countries you're exporting to may need a certain certification, so that they can be acceptable to that market. So those are the things where we certify that, okay, this is good enough product to be sold in Germany, for example, So this is, like I said, one of the biggest players in this industry. We have 44,000 employees across the globe. We are present in almost, 100 plus countries, multiple languages, multiple apps and offices throughout. So when you get associated with Intertech, you're not just getting associated with one division of Intertech or one small entity of Intertech. You are actually opening up your world to the entire network of labs and people and inspectors and audit, everything that is available throughout the world. Okay? So that is the benefit of associating with a proper global MNC, that we are not just operating in one part of the world, but we are actually in essence connected with the entire globe in one way or the other. So what is our goal in this whole industry? I mean, like any industry for that matter, even this industry has a lot of competitors. You might have heard of some of our competitors like SGS, TUV, maybe there may be other local players in the market as well, I'm not aware of, but there are quite a few. Just like you might have faced in your industry, that there might be competitors. So what is the value that we bring to our customers? Apart from the whole global setup that I talked about in the earlier slide, there is something else that we bring that most of our competitors cannot. And that is the customer promise of quality. Okay. Like I said, being the oldest and being one of the biggest brands in industry, and by the way, we are also a listed company, a publicly listed company in London. Okay. So there are many things that we do that is completely solely towards the value that we bring to the customer and the quality that we bring to the customer. We provide end-to-end service, starting from, if you imagine the value chain of a particular industry, it starts with planning, procurement, manufacturing, distribution, and returns. So we have offerings that cater to every single element of that value chain. And that is what you see on the left-hand side here, where we actually become partners with our customers or our clients in the R&D process to make sure that the products that they're developing are actually good enough for the market, are in tune with the changing needs of the market, are in tune with the sustainability needs of the market. Similarly, we have offerings around the whole procurement aspect of our customers. Are they buying the right product or the right raw material from the right vendors? Are there any intrinsic risk in their procurement process and systems? And the same thing goes across the entire value chain around manufacturing, around transportation, around distribution, and then managing the consumer from a retail point of view. So there are specific services designed to cater to all of this. And every single service has been designed keeping only one thing in mind, and that is customer quality, the precision, pace, and the passion behind delivering that value to the customer. And I'm happy to tell you that not many players in the industry actually offer this today. Given that this is a fringe industry and this is an industry that works largely behind the scene, behind the curtains, there is an intrinsic belief that you can get away with doing anything. And unfortunately, Intertek does not believe in that. Okay, so this is a good thing for the industry and a good thing for the future of this industry and the future of the market in general, that Intertek is one of those companies that ensures that quality is not something that is taken for granted, but has to be basically inherent in the culture of the company, in the people that we hire, the processes that we have internally within Intertek, and also the reporting format, the reporting structures, the way we answer our customer queries. So all of that becomes part of an intrinsic culture that we call, and that is essentially one of the most important things that why we are able to deliver the kind of quality that we are talking about. So like I said, we work across the value chain of our customers, and every single aspect of that value chain, be it manufacturing, be it planning, be it logistics, be it R&D. So there are specific, I would say, offerings or specific capabilities designed to meet those needs. And given that we have been in industry for more than 100 years now, we know exactly what the needs of the customers are in each of these value chain elements. So there are many offerings and many, I would say, solutions that we have developed over time that actually handle specifically those needs of the customer. And even today, the reason why we are discussing today is basically because we are going to address one specific need of the market. Okay, a need around sustainability, a need around biodegradation, a need around compliance to new government regulations. And that has always been the motto of Intertek, that we have been proactive in the market, not reactive. Okay, so we already had built up our capabilities and our systems well ahead in time, having the foresight that one day our industry and our market and our country is going to go into a more sustainable phase, where manufacturers will proactively launch products that are environmental friendly and sustainable to the end users. And that is the reason why we decided to partner with AIPMA as well, because the plastic industry is one industry that actually will play a huge part in building the sustainability goal of our country. We are actually part of the oil and gas industry. So oil and gas, as you know, is one of the biggest polluters of not only of our country but our planet as a whole. And many of the biggest manufacturers have started their journey towards sustainability. And we see that this movement, this journey is soon going to start with the plastic industry as well. And we are well positioned to cater to that piece of the market. So with this, there is one more slide here. So this is a quick overview of many of the innovations that we have brought about in the market. So the biodegradation, the sustainability logo that you see is one of the biggest innovations. We are, like I said, we are not reactive, but rather proactive. And that's how we have already built up our capabilities to handle many of the needs. Similarly, you see Intertech Cyber Assured, which basically caters to the cyber risk part of it. Intertech Maison, it is basically a service and an offering catering to the luxury market, the luxury jewelry, luxury goods, etc. Intertech Carbon Clear, for example, it helps you assess the carbon emissions of your establishment, of your facility, of your organization as a whole, and help you track and reduce those carbon emissions over time. Similarly, Intertech Crystech is something that is specific to the honey industry, that helps you stop the crystallization of honey. Essentially, it helps it stop going bad. Similarly, we have Protech, which is basically something that was envisioned during COVID-19, that we started as an antimicrobial, antibacterial testing, environmental health testing, etc. for facilities and establishments. So many of these, many of these solutions is something that we'll not see with other competitors today. But fortunately, because of our policy of being proactive in the market, we have been able to launch the services well ahead in time. And sustainability is exactly one big example of that. So with that, I would like to hand it over to Dhanashri, who is our techno-commercial head for the Intertech sustainability piece, and she'll talk about our capabilities, our offerings on the biodegradation space, and how it can help you meet the government regulations.
Thanks, PB. So I welcome everyone here, and a very good evening to everyone. So to begin this session, so we will begin it with sustainability. As we all know, sustainable material choices and innovative product development, such as biodegradable, compostable product or an eco-friendly product, is the prime focus of industry today. So in the next few slides, we will see the sustainability goals of sustainability suite of Intertech. Next slide. Now, sustainability is central to everything we do. And as you can see here, Intertech offers sustainability and, all kind of testing around all the things which are coming in the supply chain. So like we have the carbon and water footprint, we have recyclability and reusability testing, certification, verification of the recycled content. Then we have substance disclosure, that is MSDS or SDS being prepared. Then we can do the eco-friendly claims like certification of biodegradable compostable product and the eco-friendly labels for products which are like not ecotoxic or they are like environmental friendly. So these kind of certification programs we also have. And PB has already shared in the previous slides the logos which we provide for these kind of certifications. Then life cycle assessment, right from cradle to grave of every supply chain or a product manufacturing, everything is being provided by us. This kind of services also we can support the plastic industry with. Then the environmental health and safety well-being, like people well-being or the environmental well-being of the people working in the place, like the ambient air, the indoor air quality, the workplace monitoring. These all testing services are also provided in our sustainability suite. Next slide. So Currently, today we will be focusing more on the plastic testing from the chemical, physical, as well as the biodegradable part of you, which is right now the you can say the prime focus. So, as we all know, due to the growing awareness of the manufacturing sector and the focus of government on green policies and the regulations being developed for that has increased the demand for biodegradable and compostable product. And as we all know, that APAC is expected to be the second growing, fastest growing market for biodegradable product. Thus, there is a need for the testing, third-party testing services and certification for these products. So, next slide. So Intertech here offers the environmental testing when it comes to environmental health and safety, testing and management part. So we have a laboratory which supports the water testing, air testing, then the workplace monitoring, soil, indoor air quality testing. Then the state-of-art laboratory here is the center of excellence, as PB rightly said, for biodegradability, compostability testing. So all over the globe, this is the Intertech only lab which performs biodegradability, compostability, ecotoxicity, and claim verification testing. So we support for the various manufacturers of plastic, toys, then textile, cosmetics, you can say home care products. So we evaluate the biodegradability, compostability, ecotoxicity for all these category of products. So apart from this, we also offer treatability studies. Now, example, you all must be having a number of manufacturing units. So when the product is being developed, there are a lot of waste which is being generated. So treatability of this waste which reaches to the environment is prime focus also. So we also support in designing the treatability system, like biological cycle, what kind of organisms will be used to degrade your waste. So these all category of testings also we produce, we actually can give you. Next slide. So as we can see here, the lab is accredited by 17025. It has accreditation from the BIS. This is the only lab accredited by BIS for the latest notification which has been passed in the July for single-use plastic. The two standards which are mentioned is being approved by BIS. The lab can perform those two standards. Apart from that, it has the capability for performing all American standards, European standards, Australian standards for various biodegradability, compostability testing at various habitats. And we are also happy to share that the lab is also BPI approved lab now in supporting both the local as well as the international customers for ensuring that their product meets the seedling logo. So, and just to brief you, BPI is leader in service provider and in certification basically in North America, and is also associated with the European bioplastics as well as the Australian bioplastic. So we are approved by them to, as approved testing partner for home composting, for industrial composting, as well as the municipal composting as per American, European, and Australian standards. Next slide. So to begin with the main focus about biodegradability and compostability testing, biodegradability and compostability testing are done as per the end disposable method of a product. A product, when it reaches the environment, in what condition the product reaches the environment is on the basis of that the test method has been designed. Like if the product goes through the landfill, it goes to the garbage of the house, it will reach the landfill. So you need to have the testing products, testing methods as per the landfill biodegradation. So anaerobic biodegradation is much more preferred in that condition. If the product is directly being thrown down into the soil, like you can say chocolate wrappers or food wrappers, so it has to degrade in those conditions. So aerobic biodegradation in soil or in the natural environments has been studied. Then if it has been in the marine, if the you can say the polyester cloth, or you can say the plastic films which have been wrapping your food or home care products, or maybe an example of Vim bar or washing bar which drains into the sewer will have to be tested as per those standards which support those kind of biodegradation testing. So Intertech has the capability for aerobic biodegradation, anaerobic biodegradation in soil, in landfill conditions. Then it also has capability for marine biodegradation, compostability testing. You can change the slide, please. compostability testing, marine biodegradation. We have biodegradation capability for OECD standards for home care products, lubricants, then cosmetic testing. So you can meet the American standards, you can meet the ISO standards, you can meet the European standards. All the standard testing has been performed here. Next slide. So as I specified about the marine biodegradation, then we have the chemicals and the lubricants, and then you can say the cosmetics being tested for OECD, for ISO methods, as well as the ASTM method. These all methods are under accreditation. They are under this ISO 17025 accreditation, as well as the BIS and seedling accreditations. Next slide. Yeah, so in toxicity now, after the product biodegrades and after the whole degradation process is ended, so the main part comes is the toxicity testing. So when it is a compostable product, you have to claim it whether it is toxic or no. It is like plant toxicity has been done, earthworm toxicity has been done, aquatic toxicity is done in place when the product reaches the marine environment. So we can support you with this kind of testing also. So these are all the testing methods which we can provide you for biodegradation. So I will just summarize some part of it. Like if a person has to apply for BPI, that is seedling logo. Now European countries and American countries would always prefer compostable over biodegradable. Composting standards are much preferred. So if you have to go for an American market exporting your product, you will go with ASTM D6400, a composting standard specifically designed for their condition. Similarly, if you want to go for a European country, you will be doing it as per EN 13432, which is again a composting standard as per their requirements. In India, if you want to do as per the accepted standard is ISO 17088 2021. This is the standard which has been noted down in the latest regulation also. So if you have to prove your product compostable, like, there's a difference between compostable and biodegradable. So if you want to prove your product compostable, you have to go through that standard testing, and the testing goes through completely aerobic composting conditions, then ecotoxicity, heavy metal analysis, then you have the characterization being done, toxic elements being done. The whole process goes a different way. In India, the latest notification passed talks about biodegradation. So biodegradation here are as per the new standard which is being developed by BIS, that is IS 17899T. So it's a tentative standard. It will be amended. It can be further developed and then been approved. So this standard talks about aerobic, anaerobic, both biodegradation. So the basic for aerobic is the same. It will be aerobic biodegradation in ambient conditions, not accelerated conditions. It will be done as per ISO 17556, a standard method for biodegradation in soil. The criteria for pass is 90% in 2 years. Your sample has to reach 90% in 2 years. So this is the main criteria for this biodegradation testing for aerobic. Similarly, for when it goes for anaerobic, the biodegradation method will be much more similar to the anaerobic biodegradation for landfill condition. So in anaerobic, the temperature will be accelerated to 52 degrees plus minus 2 degrees Celsius, as well as the conditions will be completely anaerobic. So the biodegradation achievement, it should be 90% in 2 years for this condition. Once your sample passes both these conditions, then you go ahead for the next, that is ecotoxicity. The remains of your standard has to not be toxic to the environment. You have to prove it. So there is plant toxicity, there is acute earthworm, chronic earthworm toxicity test to see whether your sample which has been degraded is not giving any toxic output. So when this part is done, then you can claim your product to be biodegradable. This is what currently Indian norms talk about, this kind of testing. The ecotoxicity is same for where you have to prove it biodegradable or compostable. The ecotoxicity program is the same. But whereas the biodegradation of it is in 2 types. One is aerobic and anaerobic. So this depends on the end use of your product, like end disposable, exactly after the use, the disposable of the product, in what condition it is being done, and second, what kind of additive you're using. The additive supports aerobic biodegradation, or the additive supports anaerobic biodegradation, whether it is stimulating the aerobic conditions or stimulating the anaerobic conditions. This is the overall gist of the standards required by the global countries, as well as you can say the Indian regulations. Next slide. So we also have a microbiology lab now. As you know, plastics, a lot of, after this COVID, a lot of people started having that thing, like, to develop a product which is antimicrobial also. So we also have a lab which supports this kind of claim. So antimicrobial testing, as you know, micro testing is an integral part for efficient product development, and the quality and authenticity of the product depends on how much it is antimicrobial. So our independent microbiology lab supports you with this kind of testing. So we can have the antimicrobial testing, we can have the challenge tests, sterility testing, we can do the bioburden testing for n number of industry, including plastic, paints, then polymers, your textile industry, cosmetic industry, food industry, including oil exploration also. So we also provide, efficiency testing for microbiology. We design protocols with the customer as per their requirement. And microbiology is also an integral part of the biodegradation and the environmental lab, because, the microorganism, the compost which you use has to be evaluated on the microbiology front. How many microbes are there? What category of microbes are working in this degradation process? Next slide. So apart from the testing part, we also support customers with the claim and claim and content verification. As you know, we already have logos, our Intertech logos for biodegradability, compostability testing. Apart from that, we also have the logo for recycle content verification, recycle polyester content verification, as well as recycle plastic content verification. This kind of testing and certification services also we can provide you. This is a globally recognized verification program which Intertech has. Next slide. Okay, apart from the biodegradation and microbiology and you can say the certification program, we also have testing requirements, or you can say we can support you with the testing of hard lines, like the physical and chemical properties of your product. Now you can see, as you can see, the packaging and transit testing, like vibration test, compression test, and dart impact test. These are very important factors when you are exporting a product, and these kind of testings are mandated. ISTA test. This is something we also provide. We are approved globally for the packaging testing, and even as per the ISO 17025 as well as global standards, we are approved to do this testing. For kitchen cookware, as well as those kind of cutlery items, apart from the you can say biodegradation and the basic testing, we also can run an FTIR. We can do migration test for you all. We can support you with heavy metal analysis, then pH, BPA content. All these kind of testing we can support you with. Next slide. So the next factor is the toy and furniture. Right now, there are no regulations based for eco-friendly or sustainable claims on toys. But yeah, biodegradation, we can see a lot of customers going for biodegradable toys also. Apart from that services, we can help you with the testings which you have shown here: flammability of toys, safety of toys, then physical and mechanical properties, seal strength, the impact, stability. All these kinds of testing we can support you with. With Indian standards, global standards, EN, AS, all standards we can support you for. Then home decor and jewelry, you can see we can have this stability studies being done, metal hardness, then lead content of heavy metals, then anti-tarnishing, drop tests, thermal shocks. All these tests we can perform and help you with. All the labs of Intertech are accredited by ISO 17025, and some of them do have the global preferences. You can always, get the testing done from us, and your report is accepted globally. The next slide. So other chemical testing, apart from all these things, for what we can support you for plastics or any kind of product manufacturing, is the compliance test. So azo dye test, PCB content, and formaldehyde content, which is a very important part. These services also we can provide you. The ZLD services also we can provide you, the hazardous waste management and related certification programs and testing. We also have that capability. ROHS is something, it will be something required by most of you. So RHS for 4 metal as well as 6+4 is something we can provide. Metal content as well as the PBB and, DEHP. All these category of testings we can help you with. Next slide. Now coming to why exactly you have to partner with us, or why exactly we can be your partner as such. Ideally, when you come to biodegradation and compostability, we are the only lab which is accredited by ISO 17025, BPI as well as BIS. And it is not that it's only the accreditation part. The technical support which we give you all, the interim reports, making you understand about the subject, which standard is right for you, which standard is wrong, is something, with time you will experience once you collaborate with us. So as you can see, we have n number of top companies like Unilever, ITC, PNG, etc., working with us over their product development cycle. So, and we are the global firm. So if you get me a query about biodegradability and then you want to just reverse engineer the polymer. So you come to me and telling me, I want to reverse engineer the polymer. So I will help you connect with my global team where we have the facility of polymer laboratory, reverse engineering, understanding what the polymer is, understanding what kind of additive or what kind of backbone the chain is having. We can help you with that also. So it's like you come to me for one services and we can help you with all your problems. Then the next point is about the timeline. So if we have committed you a timeline of testing, you will receive the report within time. You will receive the interim, you'll receive our feedbacks, you'll receive our technical support in the continuous during your testing as well as after your testing. And we are offering flexible payment conditions to people considering the MSME factor. So we also understand the load which is happening due to the new notification. So we have those kind of packages for everyone also. So this is overall about how partnering with us, or it will benefit you, and actually you will have the global support for your exports as well as if there is any certification requirement, you can surely come back to us. We will help you with that. So here are the contact details. Myself and Priyabata will be the point of contact for you all for all your technical as well as your any other inquiries. So this is about the Intertech, and now we will we can have the Q&A section.
Yeah, hi Dhanashri. I think there are a lot of questions, so you can take it from the chat box. So should I ask on behalf of people? Okay.
So
there is a question by Mr. Manisha Nirmal, and she is founder of the Arya Creations. Please confirm the said tests are done at which location?
These tests are done at Mumbai location. For biodegradability, compostability, Mumbai is the location. And for your chemical and physical parameter, Gurgaon is the location. So your one point of contact is me. You will drop me a mail or you can call me. I will connect you there.
And she also wants to know, when you say multi-layer plastic, are they biodegradable?
Depending on what kind of multi-layer plastic is being used, what kind of additive is being used, any chain, any backbone, any polymer backbone to break down, you need to first understand what it is made up of and what are the additive and how active the additives are. So for this, I think Manisha, you can just coordinate with me on one-to-one. So, it's a huge topic to be explained. So you can contact me one-to-one with what is your product exactly. So we can surely help you with the testing requirement.
Yeah, Dhanashri, she has already put in her email ID in the chat box.
Okay.
Maybe our team can get in touch with her and try to.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a question from Mr. Rajkumar Mathur. How much is the timeline to test the biodegradability of granules and products? And also he wants to know the cost.
Okay, so this depends on which standard you're selecting, which country you're targeting, and what is the standard you want to go for testing. Whether it is aerobic standard, anaerobic standard, or compostability standard. Compostability standard takes around 7 to 9 months, depending on how fast your product is composted. Second part is the biodegradability. If you are following a biodegradable standard in India, the maximum duration is 2 years plus the toxicity 2 months. So it is 2 years, 2 months for the whole process to be completed. And that also depends on what is the you can say what is how fast your sample degrades. That is on what it depends on. And the costing of all the standards are already been mentioned in the AIPMA website. So you can register it for some discounts. You have some additional discount through AIPMA. You can surely, register yourself on that. And from there, you can send the query to us.
Thank you, Dhanashri. Now the question is from Mr. Vora. ISO for ISO 17556, if product passes, then will it be compostable or biodegradable? And also is asking if 17556.
So 17556, you can claim it it will be aerobic biodegradable in ambient conditions. So 17556 is supporting for biodegradability at ambient conditions. So it is run at 28 plus minus 2 degrees Celsius. So it will be biodegradable, not compostable.
Okay, and the next question from the same person is that is ISO 14855 required for biodegradables?
No, 14855 will be done when you are claiming your product to be industrial compostable. Okay, 14855 talks about composting condition at accelerated condition. So when you do one, as per the new regulation also, if you have gone through the standard of 17899, when you do a 14855, you have to switch to the composting standard because that standard is relevant to composting conditions, industrial composting conditions.
And also the question, how many days it will take for the report, so that the person, they can take the professional certificate to CPCB, and also criteria for interim report for biodegradable products with CPCB, will they consider for certification?
Okay. So right now, the notification passed on 6 July talks about the criteria for interim reports. They have just asked to submit the interim reports. So what Intertech, not just because of the notification from the start, Intertech supports testing or provides you interim report every 45 days for all standards. May it be composting standards, may it be composting, biodegradable, aerobic, anaerobic, both. So Intertech only supports this testing and provides you interim report every 45 days. The reason is for you to understand the progress of your sample and how fast your sample is degrading. Suppose if the sample 90 days or 135 days does not show a great results. So that is the time you eliminate the sample instead of waiting for 2 years and then, actually coming back to zero. So as of now, there is no cutoff value provided by the CPCB or ministry for how much is being accepted as the interim report. You have to submit your every interim report. They have not mentioned in the SOP stating which interim report has to be submitted. As of now, there is nothing like that.
Okay, thank you. And also, Mr. Laksh Agarwal wants to know the pricing structure and report delivery time for water testing.
Water testing, see, TAT for normal water testing as per IS 10500 is around 10 days for complete spec. The charges can be given to them once they drop a mail. We can share the charges to them there itself.
Okay. Another question is, are there any tests for primary plastic packaging material used for pharmaceutical application? For example, TOC, DSC, OTR, WVTR, as per the USP in India.
Yeah, there are tests primary for plastic for these things, WVTR, OTR. We are also performing them as per USP, and there are other methods also, IS methods also, which have been followed, ASTM methods also. So we can support you with that also. You can just drop us a mail. We can help you with this also.
Yeah, I think one is that, is it the same question? What are the materials in biodegradable which we can use for making products for 17899 for testing? Have you already answered this question? They're asking for what are the materials in biodegradable which can use for making products for 17899 for testing?
Sir, 17899 standard does not talk about any specific product. It only gives you a picture for pure plastic products. So it can be HDP, it can be LDP, it can be PP, depending on what product you're claiming to be biodegradable or what product you are manufacturing.
There's another question. A person wants to know that can he sell his product during the testing period, and can he make biodegradation biodegradation of traditional plastic like PP, PE, PVC. So I think
For your first question about can I sell my product, sir, once you receive the provisional certificate, CPCB itself will tell you, whether you can sell it or no. Because see, we are the testing partners, but the authority government will have to give you the permission as per the provisional certificate to, whether you can sell the product or you cannot sell it without the provisional certificate or the application of during the testing.
yeah. And another question is, what are the basic tests done for FIBC testing done at Intertech? So FIBC testing.
Can you just elaborate on this? It is Gitanjali, I think. Gitanjali.
Yes, Gitanjali.
Can you just elaborate on what is your
for
FIBC?
flexible intermediate
FIBC,
containers? No?
hello.
Big bags.
FIBC, I understand are jumbo bags. They
Yeah,
may
jumbo
be
bags,
asking for some strength test or something like that.
So seal strength testing can be done. All these testing, I have already shared the screen for that presentation. So these kind of testing also we can support you with. You just have to, drop us a mail and send your inquiry. We will surely help you with that.
Okay. So I think these are the questions. So if there are any other questions, we'll take it and have it offline. But Dhanashree, you have anything to say? I will ask Shiraz also to give them a glimpse of the portal, where how they can really register, how they can book their test. If you are doing through AIPMA's AMTEC, which is basically helping the industry, we are actually offering you a 7.5% special discount, to the members who are booking their tests through our portal. There is just a question, Dhanashree, before we show you the website or show the people. Mr. Rajkumar Mathur wants to know that the process of provisional certification from CPCB based on your report. So, will you have any idea on this?
So before the report, do you have the SOP, Mr. Rajkumar? Do you have the SOP?
Yes, he has.
Okay, so if you refer the page number 345 on the SOP, they have given you a list of documents to be submitted along with the interim report. So you need to have a CTO, you need to have a CTE. Okay, you need to give your report. You need to give a lot of documentation when it's coming to from where you are buying the additive. You have to give the invoices of the additive, your factory ad related documents, your location of the factory, all these kind of documents you have to. There's a list given on page number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you have to comply all of them as per the SOP. And then mail them on the email ID they have mentioned on page number 2 or 3. They have mentioned the email ID. You have to mail them.
Thank you, Dhanashree, for answering all the questions and for the wonderful presentation by you and also by Mr. Priyabrata. So before we end, I will request Shiraz if you can quickly give a glimpse of our portal, how to register, how to book their tests through the portal.
Is it visible?
Yeah, your voice is not very audible, so you can come near the mic.
Yes, sir. So this is a website. Give me a second. Yeah. You need to log in over here. And once you log in, these are the basic details that you fill in before logging in. And once you're done, can you see this page, sir?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, okay. So once you log in, you come to this page which says My Account, wherein you select a test. You go into Add New Test if you've already selected. You select one test over here. These are all the tests that are there that you can select from. Okay, the number of samples you put in and type of the sample. Confirm your order. Once your order is placed, you will be able to see the installment plans, the costing, the discount that is given when you register through our portal, and the final costing. You move in here, you place your order. and it shows up on your screen where my tests, and this is what you have. As and how you keep moving in, updating it, you have to update, like once you dispatch your test samples, you have to feed in these details, update your payment details, and your progress will show up over here. So that's about it. It's pretty simple.
It's a
There's nothing
very simple to use portal, and automatically you're depending on what tests you have, that the amount there is a MRP, and then there is a special 7.5% discount, and that is exclusively through AIPMA's AMTEC and INTERTEC. And it, depending on the test, every test has a different payment plan based on the interim progress reporting, or the stages, depending on the stages of the testing. Accordingly, every test will have that kind of a thing, so you can update it. Whenever you dispatch, you put your airway number so that we have, we make sure that the sample is received and acknowledged. And there'll be a regular progress which will be on portal. You can anytime log in to the portal and see the progress of the testing. So it's a very streamlined, very easy to use, and a very handy tool for the industry to give their sample for testing, also to know what is happening with my testing, and to finally get the report. So, and Shiraz also put in the website detail on the chat box so that they can note it down, and also put in the contact details if there is any question, clarification from, so who is going to address from AIPMA's AMTEC, those details if you can put in quickly on the chat box, it will be very nice. Yeah. So Kishore bhai, do you want to say something?
It was a really very, very wonderful and informative presentation. And as an association, we bring on the platter all the services, not only biodegradable, compostable, but other services also. That is also very, very nice. And I'm sure the industry will take advantage of it. So kindly visit our AMTEC portal. Shiraz madam is there to help you. And I'm sure we will be keeping ourselves updated and bringing all the testing services as much as possible to reach out to our clients. Secondly, madam, Dhanashree madam, I just wanted to request you that if you could throw some light more on this recycling content testing. Are there any standards, and how do you determine what is the percentage of content that is added in the version? That would be nice if you could throw some light on the parameters, the standards, and how you measure the amount of recyclate which is added in the product, because that is also going to be a very big need requirement of the industry, as the government has mentioned that some fixed percentage of recyclate has to be added into version. How that is done and how you offer that, please, if you could throw some light, would be really nice.
So recycle content verification part, like, the one which we offer, it complies with the standard of ISO 14021. And ideally, this is currently not been in the regulations of India. So this has been done for global customers, for European, especially for European exports. So there is a testing protocol for it. There is no IS specification being developed as such here for now. The process and the testing methodology is still being under evaluation, you can say. But yeah, content verification is done by HPLC or FTIR to see what kind of, you have to compare it with the library to see what kind of polymers are there and what is the recycled content. On that, the content is being calculated. On that basis, then you see the certification program is designed. So as of that, right now, we are not doing it in India. We are doing it for the European as well as the American customers. So, but yeah, surely we can help you with that. Within maybe a 1 month's time, we can surely get into that program and standard designing and develop something here.
Thank you very much. One more thing, that now in this PET also, I think recycled PET is going to be allowed for food and liquid packaging in the bottles, from bottle to bottle from recycled material. I think there are some FSSI has allowed that, and some standards are being fixed by BIS. So, madam, even for that, is Intertech ready for those kind of testing for recycled PET content in bottles? 100.
So we have this equipments coming down, which will be helping in actually complete characterization, including quantification of the components. So the equipments are about to reach maybe within a month's time. That is why I told you within a month we will be ready for this testing.
Sure. So I'm sure that even through AMTEC portal, those services will be offered to the industry.
Yes, sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kishore Bhai. Thank you, Kishore Bhai. I think Shiraz has already put in the details on the chat box. I would request all our attendees, participants, to please note the website address and also the phone number and email ID. So if you in case have any question, any clarification, please get in touch with us. So with this, we come to the end of this very important webinar. My sincere thanks to the team of Intertech, Mr. Priyabata Mohanty and Ms. Dhanashri for their excellent presentation and the details which they have given during this webinar. My heartfelt thanks to our President, Mr. Kishore Sampath, and also our Governing Council Chairman, Mr. Arvind Mehta, and the team of AMTEC, Shiraz and others for very well organizing this webinar. And we will try to help you as much as possible, and we'll make sure that all your questions and clarification even after this would be answered very well. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.